Welcome back, everyone. It's that time, Emily's Energy Corner. So, you guys have been listening to All About Healing, and today we had the Samantha Parker on the line with us. And I said it on the show, but I preface with the Samantha Parker because that is her handle on all of her social sites. So, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on Facebook, I'm sure on Twitter as well. The SamanthaParker.com is her. And, she's created the Girl Squad business, digital marketing, online branding, and she likes to say, live your own girl crush life. Become in love with yourself. Develop a crush on you. You're the girl crush of your dreams, And so it was predominantly for women, but this also applies to men too. And she talked about that as well. And I really loved how honest and how vulnerable, because social media is an entire entity in and of itself, and we pick and choose what things we want people to know of us. And I said that I don't put a lot of my personal stuff on there, especially because except for my personal Facebook, everything else is to promote my products. It's not so that you can see a day in the life unless you ask and you want to see one, which is fine. I love my life. I'm very happy. I live in a very peaceful, happy, loving home. I would love to show people what that looks like. I have 2 beautiful children, 4 beautiful pets. I have 2 beautiful stepchildren, but they don't live with us full time. So, and then my husband is the most wonderful friend, lover, husband I could ask for. I'm incredibly blessed. And I was telling her this on the show, and it really is real, that I do feel like sometimes when you're kind of in that place of being incredibly grateful and you love your life and everything that you're creating, and you're really in this powerful zone. And so when people say, what have you been up to? And you really answer, or at least I really answer, and I say, well, I got a new agent, and I'm about to sign another contract, and I got a new publisher, and there's amazing things happening. And when people think we're all hanging out at home, I'm not hanging out. I'm writing. I'm working. I'm up in the middle of the night. When spirit comes knocking, I wake up. I'm not one of those people that says, no, thank you, spirit, I'm sleeping right now. Instead, I jump out of bed, because if they want to repeat something to me or have me work on some creative aspect of the book, I know that they're not going to be there for me in the morning when I'm refreshed and ready. I'm on their time. They're not on my time. So I work with spirit and try to stay in my creative flow as much as possible. So when I feel a calling to anything, whether that's creative flow, making my life better, I now have a new idea that I really am trying to figure out how to make happen. I'm in that zone. And so I really do want to be around people that get it, that feel that way, that are doing those sorts of things, because I find that when I do talk about these things to people that don't really have a lot of other things going on in their life, they take it as like a personal offense, like they feel bad about themselves because they're not doing something. And then they do that shoulding thing. I should. Shoulding is a bad thing. Don't should on yourself. Stop with any sentences that start with I should. I do this, but I should do this. I'm feeling this way, but I should be feeling this way. If and especially, let me just take a little sidestep. If you're feeling some way, but you feel like you should be feeling some other way, then it might be time to take a look at that emotional health aspect and maybe make an appointment with a therapist or hypnotherapist or a talk therapist, somebody to help you kind of line back up. Because if you do find that you're saying a lot of those things, it is worth taking a look into. But where I'm at in my life is I want to take advantage of being alive and healthy and able-bodied, and that's where I am, and I don't want to miss these opportunities that are coming my way. And so I'm in that space where every day matters, every day counts. I never go to sleep without saying, thank you for today. Thank you for giving me this day. Thank you for letting my body work and my children and keeping us happy and healthy and safe and alive. And please be with us. And, I use the words thank you internally in prayer, in meditation and things, so many times a day, because the power of the word thank you, I'm not sure there's a lot of other words that are as powerful. So thank you, listeners, for being here and for listening to the show and for coming back. And, I want you to really love the show, and I want you to look forward to Wednesdays or whatever day that you listen to it, because it does repeat play a few times during the week. But I want you to think, Emily's show's coming on today. I want to hear it. I want to see what she's got for me today, because I do think, I hope that I motivate everybody, or I try to become the best version of themselves. But here's the other part, and this is the part that makes me love yoga more than so many things in the world. I love the yoga mindset, which is that you meet everybody exactly where they are, not where you want them to be, not where you feel they should be, but just where they are. So when you're applying the yoga mindset into the path of your life, everybody is who they are, and you can inspire and change, but you can't demand change. You can't ask for change, and you can't decide for somebody else where they should be. And I love that. And that's the same thing with our work. And it should, I'm gonna say should, I just said the bad word, but it would be grand if we spoke to ourselves that way too. If we met ourselves where we are. So if you're having one of those really sluggish days, don't beat yourself up, just be sluggish. If you don't want to get out of your jammies, don't get out of your jammies. Know that every day comes with its own ebb and flow of energy, and work within those ebbs and flows. This week, last Friday, I flew to New York, and I went for this hugely long day. I really should have spent the night. I left at 6 a.m. I got home at midnight, but I got to meet with several amazing authors under my new agent, and I got to meet the agent in person, who is just the most adorably lovely, beautiful human being. I'm so excited to be doing this work. But I was listening to the way that people work, and they work very differently than me. They set their writing times. They can just go right back to it. I have to be working on my writing, so I'm going to go, as soon as you guys leave here, I'm going to go work on the next chapter, and it's just sort of a set thing where they know that they work from 9 to 11, or I don't know, whatever it is, but they're very regimented writers. And I sort of mentioned that I am not a regimented writer. I write when creative shows up, and I don't write when it doesn't. So I don't really play around with writer's block per se, or making myself sit down and write, because anything that I write when I'm not in that flow winds up on the cutting room floor every time. It's the things that I wind up cutting out later in edits, and it just didn't come from that place, that spirit place, that connection place into the creative high, where sometimes I'll look back and go, did I write that? That is good. My editor must have fixed that, or whatever it is, because I don't recall coming up with such magnificent words, and that's when I know that wasn't me, and I was open to receive from divine guidance the messages. I am the human collaborator that they chose to work with for this particular project. So my husband always talks about that I write at 3 a.m. 3 a.m. is my high time for writing. And I don't do it every night. I certainly don't set an alarm, but there are a lot of nights where I jump out of bed because I'm writing a book in my head, and it finally wakes me up, and I can hear the words, and then I jump up. So I've been doing that a lot. And I found that I'm writing a lot of notes everywhere that I go. I was in church last weekend, and I'm watching these young mothers that lack a little bit of patience, and that thing about meeting your kid where they are instead of demanding where they need to be. And I started writing myself notes, but just being open to that creative flow. So wherever you are, it's time to end the show, but wherever you are, just be open and be free, and meet yourself on your own path, and everyone around you exactly where you and they are. And I promise you, you will feel better for doing so. Make it a great week, everybody. We'll see you back here next week. Thanks for listening.